wanted to do was catch you up if you have not been able to check your emails early this morning.
Yeah, I did, about the format that you and the points that you asked her to provide.
Correct. So what I was trying to share,
Because the one who paid, I paid the graphic artist, so I have some information somewhere about who she is. If we need to go for the annual report, remember, I was oh, you're frozen. Oh no.
Single annual report that we have done, staff has done a draft of the highlights, and literally it's bulleted, so if you want to look at, OIG Michelle Phillips was hired in January. We know that that was the case in 2022. We can talk about, the sustainability, the meeting where the judge approved that we could go into sustainability, the militarized policies that were forwarded to city council, things like that. But those are things that staff provide to us so that we are not having to dig and look for things that may have been overlooked. And typically in a year, we have so many things that come up that it is important to have a staff version, which is usually going through our agendas. And then if we've had like a community forum off campus, which we haven't, then, if that might be overlooked, then you can add it in. Yes.
Okay, well, there was a chart prepared by TWE as a result of our retreat, and it highlighted several things in a spreadsheet format.
Okay, but do you think that that is overarching? Because again, I want to get away from presuming that this isn't a staff function. It is a staff function. We do the detail, looking through to make sure everything is as it should be. If we're going to add pictures, which I know you all did last time, then arguably if we work with the same graphic artist, then we have the same pictures. Maybe we have to add one or two more. And so that
I guess
is
the thing that this is just a conversation between you and I. No one else is on the line.
Well, but it's being recorded, so
it's being recorded. I only wanted to make sure that I wasn't going beyond anything that should be discussed here. But we do need to get all of that material, and we need to get it quickly.
Yes.
I suspect, given recent correspondence, that we must go through the chair, who will direct the chief of staff in terms of priority of this.
So she was copied on my email where I suggested that we should receive the information April 10th. I was building in my anticipation of the prioritization of the NSA and other kinds of things, and allowing for basically a week after, or 5 days after. But it would, I believe that the chair could send a letter to the city council saying that the report's going to be late. I mean, I would like not to have to do that, but according to our enabling ordinance, we have always sent our annual reports in April. Now it has been, never the same date, but
that's the past practice. But
that is exactly the past practice,
and
I'd like to continue
date,
it.
though.
No, and I'd like to continue that. One, because as you know, that annual reports, they date themselves rather quickly. And so you don't want to turn in an annual report halfway through the next year. So I would like to be able to get it in April, even if it's the last day in April.
Okay.
And the other thing is, as I have already stated, we didn't get this assignment until March 16th, which meant that we were going to be on skates trying to move it forward. So I was a little surprised when we did not receive the specific draft highlights for 2022, which I asked for in the March 20th email. Now,
Right.
if for some reason Kelly misunderstood that, again, I, wanted to share what it was that I had turned over to you all, which was done by the last project manager.
Okay.
So I will expect, like I said, a couple things that Kelly will be able to confirm that she can get us the information by April 10th, whether it's, but I also want it put in the frame of the draft template that she provided to us. So again, it is a more efficient review process.
I
Then
understand.
I will specifically invite, because since we don't have any community members, I'll specifically invite some community members to review it with us for the next meeting that we have before we bring it to the commission. They have to review and approve it before we forward it to city council.
Okay. So we are on this meeting right now without
Staff.
And from her earlier email, I understood she was supporting this. The chief of staff was supporting this.
That's what she said.
What would support look like? It would be her on this call with us, this Zoom call, Zoom platform, or
it could. I mean, arguably, we might not have needed her presence on the call if we had had the draft report.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that when we have community engagement, it might be helpful to have her presence to then capture and update whatever it is that we have. As a commission, because we do have staff, I mean, I was on the commission when we didn't have staff, and literally we were writing this annual report, in raw form. But we do have staff. And, whether that's Mo or Kelly doing the draft doesn't, matters not. We just need the information so that we can review and ensure that it captures everything. This template is a little bit more detailed than I have historically worked on. And so when it asks for future goals and things like that, we may then need to propose some things that may or may not be actual goals, since I'm not sure what our 2023 goals are, and if that was captured in TWE's overview of the retreat, then maybe we have another document we can reflect on.
Reference, yeah.
Yeah. So, at this point, I think that we can probably give each other our time back, since we can't move forward until we have that information. And
I'll reach out to TWE for her chart. I'll gather that information.
Okay, that will be great, because maybe it will have something in there that is not included in the highlights. Meantime, we will be waiting for Kelly to respond to the email I sent this morning, requesting that we get the information back by April 10th. And if she can beat the deadline versus just meet the deadline, all the better. Normally I am working on the annual report kind of year round, asking staff to capture on a monthly basis the highlights so that one doesn't have to rush to figure out what did we do last year, Right.
And with her.
And Kelly didn't come on until August, right?
Yeah, so, last year.
Right.
Who, you mean Kelly? And so at the end of the day, she periodically gives updates of more or less what she's doing, not so much what the commission is doing. And the commission is doing.
Yeah. And so that, and I would have wanted Rania, because that's what I helped prioritize, was to be able to capture on a monthly basis. And that did not happen with her, but it did, we got the total information together by the top of 2021, 2022 for 2021's information. I think I've got my years right. Anyway, the point is that I wouldn't want any staffer to have to do what is getting ready to need to be done. Maybe Kelly's got some of the information already captured somewhere, but I would much prefer or think it'd be more efficient to do it on a monthly or quarterly basis so that it doesn't catch you off guard and having to, do so much work in a short period of time. That
Well,
said, it is now March 29th. Basically what I've tried to make room for is 2 weeks. And whether Kelly does it or Mo does it for Kelly's review, again, matters not. So long as we get
No.
the information that we need to be able to carry out our responsibility.
Okay, and as long as this is recorded and the public wanting to be a part of these ad hocs,
Mhm.
we were going to start with template so it could be populated in real time with the public as the
Correct.
public has requested
Correct.
transparency. So stay tuned, I
Yes.
would say to our audience to be, that we are certainly working to ensure that transparency and to provide all of the information that we need in order for us to work collectively and collaboratively.
Yes. And the
Okay.
city council, this is important information for the city council to have. Sometimes they have bits and pieces. Sometimes their staff is listening to our commission meetings. But this is really going to be a comprehensive documentation that they can reference at a glance. And that's why we want it to be so well-informed and aligned with the template that you all created last year. So we have an instructional, document moving forward.
Okay.
So with that, I think that we know what our agendas are, and then we will
Move
as we
forward
get the
accordingly.
updates, we will update and then hopefully identify a new meeting, a meeting time and date, and really put out the request and maybe ask a few individuals who tend to be very involved to come on the calls with us. Is that okay?
Sounds great.
Okay, great. Well, look, you feel better. Work hard at feeling better, especially
Yeah.
with all this rain. And I will talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, bye-bye.